really tired. Is that because the final's coming up? Well, suck it up, because finals are crucial to the success of our futures. I mean, personally, I've always loved a good final, like one that you can really sweat and bleed over, you know? I mean, I saw someone coming back from a final, and they didn't have a change of clothes with them. And I was like, did you even try on that test? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think finals are easy, but I think that they are full mental and physical commitment that is so completely worth it in the end. Now, let me begin with telling you some great benefits to finals. First of all, it's a great way to shed some pounds. Last year, I studied so hard I couldn't even remember what food smelled like. I came back and I didn't know how to turn my stove on. I lost like 10 pounds from finals last year. I mean, talk about a great beach body. Now, if you're the opposite and you like to overindulge in food, that's completely acceptable too, because finals are the perfect excuse to binge eat. I mean, if it takes 10 pizzas and a liter of Dr. Pepper for you to get an A, it's worth it. Now, another great aspect to finals is that it's training for all-nighters. It's great practice. So, as you might know, the Hillman is open 24/7. So you see students in there, hours on end, shoving really important knowledge into their brains. Some kids are smart and they just camp out there all week. They take makeshift showers in the bathroom, in the sink, and they take naps in between their flashcard drills. So when I go to the library, I always try to find a table that isn't crusted in drool. But if that's not possible, I do bring a bottle of Clorox wipes and I just, use them if I need. It's not really a big deal. Now, doctors might say that these poor sleeping patterns really aren't good for your growth. But you really gotta have your priorities. I mean, a little bit of stunted growth, but you could get an A on your final, What's better? So, I know that a lot of people say that finals are taxing on your body, and I think that it's actually a lot less people than you think. Only 8% of people have suicidal thoughts during finals. That's not even a tenth. So, I think that people like to complain a lot about a whole lot of nothing, And I know a lot of people suffer from depression too, but, I think that we all feel a little depressed sometimes. We all have that off day where we think the world is against us. But we really need to stop acting like angsty teenagers and look at the positive elements of finals. Now, some people claim that finals aren't, they don't properly test your knowledge and that they're not fair. Clearly, these people aren't meant to go to college, because we all know that finals are simply just questions with one right answer. And if you can't find out that right answer, then that's your fault and not your adjunct teacher who forgot to post the lecture slides. Now, people also say that GPA doesn't matter because 1, grade inflation, 2, employers have a hard time finding your transcripts, 3 and 4, that networking and job experience is more important. But how are you going to find a job if you're not willing to sacrifice your blood and sweat and dedicate your life to the library for a week? I mean, who wants to employ someone who casually studies and hangs out with friends? I mean, how can someone even think to employ someone who might go and get drinks with the other employers after work? I just think that finals really define who we become in the real world. Imagine if finals didn't exist. What would we do with ourselves in these last boring and uneventful weeks of spring? I mean, would people actually hang out with each other? I don't even